Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to Season 2, Episode 156. On today's episode, guys, we're going to be talking about our pursuit for a right back. What's going on there? Because we do need a right back. We're going to be talking about Ousmane Dembele. Ousmane Dembele is going to be staying at the club. And lastly, we're going to be talking about some possible departures from the club. Guys, before we start the episode, remember to like, subscribe, and comment. Follow us on all our social media platforms: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Everything is at Kool-Aid Podcast. You'll be able to find us there. Links below down in the description. But guys, let's get started with the episode. First piece of news: Barcelona is looking for a right back. Who could that be? Barcelona were in talks with Cancelo. However, Cancelo's demands, the salary demands, are a little bit high. He does want to play for the club. He is really attracted by the idea. Just Barcelona don't know if that's financially viable at the moment. They're looking for a possibility of a loan deal, and so we have to see what happens there. But Ivan Fresneda is an option that has emerged. Ivan Fresneda is attracted by the idea of signing for Barcelona and wants to wait for them, but not forever. Other clubs are interested in the player, and this is reported by Mundo Deportivo, and the one who reported these news. Was Barca Universal, a Twitter handle. Now, what do I think of Fresneda? Well, he is a very young, exciting talent. Right here, you can see his stats. This is Arnau Martinez, another Barcelona right back, as you can see. 20 years old, plays as a right back. He's played roughly 2,500 minutes in La Liga. And as you can see, he's more of an attacking right back. He's very good at pressing. He is up in the field a lot. He does play for Girona, a team who is very good in La Liga. Very good on the ball. And as you can see, aerial duels, not so much. Recoveries and interception, a little bit low. But he is more of an attacking right back. He's a very good player. And then when we look at Ivan Fresneda, the player that we are interested in, well, both of these players are players that we're interested in. As you can see, he's played roughly 1,500 minutes this season in La Liga. But he is a more defensive minded fullback. He does not attack that much. He's very good on the ball. He's very good at carrying and dribbling the ball. And he's very good at pressing. And so when we look at both of these stats, they're two different right backs. There's two different right backs. Arnau Martinez, he's a more offensive right back. And Ivan Fresneda is a more defensive right back who, as you can see, is very good at lingo play, who's very good at carrying the ball, and who's very good. Now, what does this mean? Well, when we look at Ivan Fresneda, the way Xavi likes to play, he likes to play like a three in the back. And when I say this three in the back, I refer to it that he likes to have one fullback be inverted and the other fullback to go overlapping. And that fullback that will be overlapping will be Balde on the left-hand side. And so Ivan Fresneda would be the right back that tucks in, becomes sort of like the third center back. And so when you look at the system that Xavi wants to play, and you look at the profiles that we were linked to, such as Pavard from Bayern, Juan Foyth, these are all players that Xavi liked and who fit his system, who are very good, solid defensively, who are very good on the ball, and were able for Xavi to have that left back overlap on the left hand side. And so when we look at the stats and everything, you can see that, in my opinion, Fernandez is a good choice to be playing for Barcelona. He is very good on the ball. He is very good defensively. He hasn't played that many minutes in the season compared to others, for example. But his price wouldn't be that expensive. It's being rumored that the price tag would be around 20 million euros, and for either player. And so, if you were Barcelona, who would you sign as a right back? Because as much as we love Cancelo is very, very expensive. Cancelo, he would be requiring high wages. We don't even know if we would be able to buy him. It's being reported of a loan, and so we would get a loan, pay these high wages for Cancelo. He isn't the best defensive, but he's a world class fullback. And so when you look at Barcelona and the state that we're in, who do you really want to go for? And so I pose the question: who would you guys sign, Ivan Fresneda, or for example, would you guys go for different options such as Arnau Martinez or possibly João Cancelo. Who would you guys like to be for that right back position? But moving to our next piece of news, it has been confirmed that Ousmane Dembele has officially communicated to Xavi that he's decided to stay at FC Barcelona this summer, according to Sport. Now, what do you guys make of this piece of news? That Dembele is said to be renewing with the club. And I want to ask you guys, because there is some division between the fan base on whether they want to keep or sell Dembele. Dembele is a world class player. I'm a huge fan of him. He's an exceptional player. Great on both feet. Can go in the one situation. He's very good in that. But however, Xavi has stated multiple times that it's like a Russian roulette with this guy. He can give you a 2 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10 performance, and he's a player who can destroy, destabilize so many defenses just by himself, and that's completely vital at the top of level of football, because these type of players, they don't really exist. A player who can go 1-on-1 and just destabilize a team. For example, you see Vinicius, you see Mbappe, you see these players, and you see the prices; they're extremely expensive. And Ousmane Dembele has a release clause of 50 million euros. His contract does end up next summer, and we don't want to repeat what happened last summer, where Barcelona were in talks to sign Ousmane Dembele, and there were issues between him, Xavi, the board, and etc. I'm like, what do we do with Dembele? And so I posed the question to you guys: what do you guys want to happen to Dembele? Would you guys want him to stay, or would you want him to leave, possibly on a free? I would say keep Ousmane Dembele. He's a very valuable asset to the club. However, we have to make sure that we do not give these players enormous wages, because that's something that we do not want to happen. We do not want players on extremely high wages. But continuing the issue, possible departures of the club, from the club. We look at this report from Gerard Romeo. If everything goes well, the first exit of this summer transfer window would be Nico Gonzalez. His potential loan move to Real Betis is advancing. Now, Xavi, he has said that he does not see Nico Gonzalez as a Barcelona pivot. Nico Gonzalez is not one of our pivot options. We did make an episode talking about Nico, and if he was an option for that pivot role, but it seems like Xavi sees him more as an interior, and so Nico Gonzalez wouldn't fit the role that Xavi wants, and he would like Nico to get some more experience before coming into that midfield. And the problem is that there are players who are much better than him in that position. For example, you have Pedri, you have Gavi, you have Gundogan, who's coming in now, and you have Frankie De Jong, players who are much better than him. And so when you look at it, why are you going to be having a very young player who could be out on loan, gaining experience and developing? Because the whole point is for Barcelona to recoup funds, to develop players, and hopefully turn them into world-class talent. But he is one of the names that is being discussed. And another couple of names that are being discussed is Lenglet, Umtiti, Nico Gonzalez, obviously, Des, Collado, and Kessie. Kessie has received a 20 million offer from Saudi Arabia. We did post a TikTok about that. And these are the expected departures from the club. As you can see, it's 7 departures from the club: Lenglet, Umtiti, Nico, Des, Collado, and Kessie. Now, I'm perfectly fine with letting every single one of these players go, but we have to remember that most of these players are on loan. Umtiti had a very successful loan spell at Lecce. Nico and Des, not so much. But guys, what are your thoughts on all these players leaving? Would you want them to leave? For example, Kessie, are you guys open to him leaving? Would you guys want him to go for that 20 million price tag? But you also have Lenglet and Umtiti, who are still Barcelona players. But guys, that was it for today's episode. We discussed our Barcelona's pursuit of a right back. How is that going? Ivan Fresneda has emerged as one of the options that Barcelona can go for. What do you guys make of Ousmane Dembele stating his desire to stay at the club? And lastly, what do you guys make of our possible departures from the club, specifically Nico Gonzalez and his move to Real Betis, and Kessie's move to Saudi Arabia for 20 million? But guys, that was it for tonight's episode. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment, and we'll see you guys all in the next episode. Peace out.